Hey folks, WoRM here. Welcome back. Week number 4. 4 weeks. Kind of scary to think that I would do this 4 weeks in a row when I had like 2 people watch, but hey, on the worst of rock and metal. If 2 people out there enjoy the worst in life, rock on. So last week we did a little song. It's a rock song. It's not a metal song. We'll evolve into the whole metal thing in a bit. And I did 2 guitars left, 2 guitars right. I did a bass. I did some keys. I was all done. I cleaned it up a bit. It still sounded like, the worst of rock. So I did new drums. I did 2 new guitars. Did right, 2 new guitars left. Did new bass. Left the keys. Lowered them a bit. Now it's nice and tight. It actually sounds decent. I've got new drums lined up for the next riff for today. So I'm not hunting and pecking, trying to find some drums. This week, I'm going to shout out to a good friend of mine, Brad Kaufman. Really cool dude, great guitar player, great bass player, and the man makes great pedals. Ex-Bandora pedals, Forbidden Fuzz. Great stuff. He does it by hand, at least he used to. I'm not quite sure where it's at right now, but he makes great sounding, vintage sounding, clean, super cool, good sounding pedals for rock and metal. I had asked him if he wanted to make VSTs. He said, nope, I make pedals. Got to give him props for sticking with the old school technology because it sounds really good. I'll put a link in for the Ex-Bandora pedals in the description down below. Not quite sure how to do that cool thing with the little buttons and all that crap. So I am the worst of rock and metal. I'm the worst of YouTube. But, WoRM doesn't sound as cool as WoRM. Actually sounds kind of perverted. So this week we're going to keep rocking. I'm going to keep the song going. Thank you to all my legions of fans out there, all 4 of you, and the 1 or 2 people actually tuned in. Thank you. I'm going to keep doing this because it gives me something to do and gives me a good reason to play with all my cool, expensive toys. So thank you again. I am the WoRM, the worst of rock and metal, and have a great day. All right, folks, let's make some music. Let's make sure my voice isn't too loud here. It'll clip and sound crappier than normal, but we'll do our best. So this is what we did. Actually, this is what I redid to hopefully make sound a little bit better than it did last week. Last week it sounded kind of crappy. This is all nice and tight. It's ready to rock and roll. Scroll down a bit. If I put a marker right here, so if you just click anywhere in this time section, put your cursor in, right click, we can insert marker. We could call it something. So last week was riff 1. This will be riff 2. Riff 2, kind of cool, hit OK, if I can find it, there we go. So now if I look anywhere in here, I know if I'm playing along, get to this little bar, I'm at riff 2. So last week we did riff number 1, we're going to work on riff number 2. I already came in and plopped in some drums because I didn't want to hunt and peck and waste too much time in a video this week. So these things don't last forever. I know folks have a limited attention span, much like myself. So we got the drums in there. So I don't want to have to re-record all of these guitars and the bass and all that fun jazz again. It's already been done once. This is just, recreational stuff, me doing demo songs, me being the worst of rock and metal. So what we can do in Reaper, which is pretty cool, if we go up here on the timeline, we use the left mouse button, we start, we can drag this guy. Usually helps if I got the drums kind of in the picture, which I don't. So you could drag the guy. Dun, 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 dun. Awesome. So now we have, if we use the scroll button, we can tighten that up a bit. So now I have 1, 2. Ooh. I got a few bars ready to rock and roll. So I got 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just kind of copy and pasted that one so it looks fat. And we got this area highlighted. So if we come to the record button and hit it like a dumbass, which I didn't mean to do. If you go to record button and you right click, we have a couple different options. So the first option is record normal mode, which will, as soon as we arm a track and hit record, it's going to start recording. It's not what we want because we're going to erase stuff we already did. If you come down here, we do record mode, time selection, auto punch. That's what we want. So it's only going to punch in what you're playing to record in this section that we have highlighted. So what we can do is we can take our cursor our pointer, or whatever heck you want to call it, will start about right here. So it gives us a little more than a beat to catch up to what we're doing. So it will play, we'll hear, but it won't start recording till we hit this riff number 2 marker that I put in. So let me grab my guitar. We're going to arm up just this track, because remember, we do 2 tracks left, 2 tracks right. We do our bass and all that other fun jazz, but we record our guitars 1 track at a time. And we do that because every time you record, there's going to be some kind of error, because we're not humans. We're not Mr. Hetfield in his prime. We're not going to play the same thing exactly every single time. So the idea of doing double recording, 1 guitar, record the guitar again, is there's going to be slight little intricacies where things are a little off, but it makes it sound fuller, as opposed to just recording a line once and duplicating it. So we record 2 guitars, 1 on each side, left and right. We record them individually. So let me tune up and we'll get this thing rocking. I also remembered when I did this, I started on my neck pickup and then I moved down. So if we're going up, down, neck pickup, up. Next one I think I did in the middle position. So we're using this same guitar that we used last time. That was the little piece of crap that snuck in there. So we're using the same guitar, same amp settings, so we don't have to mess with the amp settings. But we could do, so this is track number 2. I'm going to go bring up my little tuner guy here. Oops. It doesn't hear jack squat unless we arm the track. Ba-bang. See? Worst voice on the planet. And where's my tuner? There he is. So we'll get this guy all nice and tuned again. There's my E. There's my A. Maybe. There we go. D was already pretty close. That darn G string's always out of whack. B. And D. And come on up there, guy. There we go. Alright. So he's all ready to rock and roll. So this riff, that's another simple riff, because, heck, I wrote it. We're not expecting the best. I am the worst of rock and metal. And the first riff I call the 1, 2, 3 riff. It went 1, 2, 3, do 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 do, 1, 2, 3, ring ding ding goo. So the second riff is also a 1, 2, 3 riff. That's why I kind of call this song 1, 2, 3. The second riff's just gonna go. Something like that, but only tight. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's see how badly I can do this. Let's give it a shot, guys. Hey, we'll try that again. So I'm not going to save this. As you can see, I screwed up. But luckily, there's an undo function. Control Z. It can be your friend. Just don't whack it too many times or undo stuff you don't want to. Hey, look at that. So for some reason, this guy, I changed him from punch mode to normal. We don't want normal. We want punch mode. So we will try this again. Alright, cool. So, did my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then do 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 do. Just to break it up a little bit. So, I'll do it this time, then I'll wait to do all the rest in one shot at the end. So, as you can see, we have our old track. Then we got what was left of the old track. Then we got the new track where we punched in. So what we could do is we could take the first one, the original track, then we hold our finger on the control key here, and that's the new track, which going to the end of the old track, and the rest of the new track. So we have the old connecting to the new. We do a right click, and we do a glue. So boom, it looks like you have one nice track. So if I solo just that track, see, it's nice and seamless. It goes from one right into the other. We're using the same guitar. We're using the same levels. We're using the same amp, so it's not going to sound wonky going from one to the next. So we got that guitar done. So we'll track 2, go to track 3. We here have our cursor in place to start. We are on our auto punch. I'm still on the same neck pickup, just a little different amp setup. So track 3, let's go. Alright, cool. So it's track number 2. We're just going to keep hammering through tracks. We're going to go track number 3, which I mean last time I put onto the middle pickup. So we'll go back down to him, and we'll do it again. Oops, screwed up. But that's okay. I am the worst. You expect some errors every now and then. So what I can do, I'll take this track we just worked on. If I can find my cursor, there he is. I'll go back a little bit. Select you, you, and you. We will glue you to make you one happy track. Bang. Now what I could do, if you look at the time signatures, the wave files, right here is the error. So I could change my cut-in spot. I'm going to change it to right there. And I can fix it right now. So we'll save it, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll take the original thing I recorded, the new one, the original, we'll select them all, and we'll do a glue. Boom, done. And I'll fix this guy up here. 1, 2, 3. We'll glue you together. Ba-bang. We have to change our punch in now, because right now we're only set to record in this little spot. And that's not what we're doing today. We're recording this whole lovely riff. I'm sure it's going to take the world by storm. We'll go from track 3, track 4. I already got him ready there. And we'll do it again, guys. Rock and roll. So I got 4 guitars. I got 2 left, 2 right. They're all pretty decently tight. I had my little error in the middle there. We fixed it up because that is the power of the Reaper. Kind of cool. Where's my glue? Glue. I don't see it. So I probably did something wrong. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. Glue. We're good. So now we're going to go to the bass. I'll go grab my bass. Something kind of funny about this whole Reaper thing. So Reaper, which is our digital audio workstation. I was hanging out with my son the other day, and we had music on, and they played Louis Schultz, Don't Fear the Reaper, and my son's like, hey, Daddy, look, they must have used Reaper to record this song. I don't think so. It was tape and analog back then, but it still made me laugh. So let me grab Mr. Bass. Hang on, guys. All right, got my bass. I got my bass lined up. We shall tune Mr. Bass, because no one wants an out-of-tune bass. I thought it was this channel. What channel do I want? Channel 6. Why are you not coming up as a bass? Channel 6 is another guitar. All right, I lied. Maybe I did a whole bunch more guitars. All right, well, we'll skip that one for now. And we'll cruise down to, I believe, how about number 7? Are you a bass? You are not. How about number 8? Because number 8 is great. Bam, that's our bass. Good deal. We'll arm you. Boom. Get them all nice and tuned. All right, cool. And this riff is just, it's an E and an F. So it's E, F. I was going to say I can count, but I can do the alphabet. Hooray for me. I have no idea what I'm going to do on this thing, so let's just play it and see where it goes. Didn't really feel it, but I don't want this video to take forever, so I'll probably go and clean that up later, but it's a bass. Let's patch all this together. Bang, glue. Now I'm trying to figure out where all these other guitars came from. But let's take a quick listen to what we got so far after this little break. See how it sounds. Cool, so that's 2 riffs. We have some bass, we got some guitars. I got my little keyboard here. I could even punch that guy in, so I can go to here, which is going to change it from my input 1 to my IDI. How about my MIDI input? And let's find my little tuner here, because I suck at keyboards. So D, C, there's a high E, there's my low E. So what I do, because I am keyboard illiterate, I put a guitar pick underneath the key of where my E's are. So we got E, E, then we go up to F, F, glide, F, there he is. And let's see if we can't just make some noise behind what we're doing to fill in some gaps. Might sound alright. I couldn't really hear it. My ears are shut. So we'll do the same thing. We'll connect this guy, that guy, bing, 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 bing. We will hit glue. Let's see if it does anything. Adds a little something in the background. Sounds kind of cool. Alright, so I'm going to stop this. Boom. Go back down here. I'm going to copy this. So we'll copy selected area of items. And I'm going to paste him right down on this other track is what I did. Boom. So I did two different key sounds and have them blend together. So if I hit the right button, it's got that little wow. Kind of cool sound to it. But if we have everything going at once, there's a nice little something in the background. It's not really jumping out, it's not like punching in the face. But you hear something in the background that's kind of filling in holes. So that's what you want to do. You don't want a lot of too open areas. I mean, you do want some ebb and flow, but it's always good to have a little something going on in the background, I think. So, now that's that. This will be a pretty short little one of my episodes here. So, I am the Worm. I am the worst of rock and metal. This is episode number 4. I hope you all learned something on here. Showed you how to do some punches with your school. Showed you how to do a little time marker. Next week will be the next riff. I already have the next riff figured out. I already know what it is. I got to find some drums. Not sure if it's going to speed up at that point. Because the riff I have, when it's played really slow, it's kind of dragging a bit. So maybe I'll show you how we can add a time signature change. So that'd be kind of cool. But as of right now, so what do we got here? We got a whopping 35 seconds of music. So I'll clean this up a bit. I'll add a link in the description below. I do thank you all for coming to watch me, listen to me, whatever you want to call it. I am the Worm. I am the worst of all rock and metal. I do thank you and have a great day.